into order. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Bajent.
Here.
Halliburton.
Here.
Haney.
Here.
Nash.
Here.
Stead.
Here.
Willetts.
Here.
All present.
Thanks. Next up, we've got city council minutes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move approval of the city council minutes from the regular evening meeting of December 12th, 2023.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Haney.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willetts.
Yes.
Bajent.
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Next up, we've got under special business, quite a few appointments and reappointments. I think we could probably, it seems to me we could take them all in one motion, but I want to thank the council president for his willingness to be nominated to serve on the CID board. And then Patrick, are any folks here or online? Mr. Bowl for joining the Design Review Commission, and then the reappointments of Bob Schaefer, Melissa Tom, and Amanda Ashley to their respective commissions. Really appreciate the service you've provided already and your willingness to continue to serve.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
one quick note on the first appointment, Council President Halliburton. This one will become effective at the beginning of next year. So we're appointing him now, but for those who are watching or interested in this issue, he's appointed to be effective.
And why don't we take a motion, an actual motion for the first,
Sure.
just in case, and then I'll do unanimous consent for all the others combined.
Madam Mayor, I move the appointment of Council President Jimmy Halliburton to the Harris Ranch Community Infrastructure District Board for the term ending in December 2025.
Second.
No, you can vote. If you'd like. You can vote no.
No, I'm not going to vote no. I do. I just do have one comment though, and it's just a thank you to outgoing Council President Pro Tem Patrick Bajent. I'll be taking over the spot for his position. I know he served the commission well. I know that you've got one more meeting, and then I'm excited to carry on the work that you're doing.
Great.
All right, clerk, we call the roll.
Haney.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willetts.
Yes.
Bajent.
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, thanks.
Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent for the appointments in special business items 2 through 5 for the terms and positions set forth in those agenda items.
Without objection. Once again, thanks everybody for your willingness to serve. Next up, we've got Eric Belmoria with some interim budget changes.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, members of the council. We have one interim budget change for your consideration today. The interim budget change is for the purchase of a building on West State Street to be used for the police department. This facility would allow for the restoration of services to the area of the city that used to be served from a leased property on Willow Lane. Services utilizing this facility will include behavioral health, neighborhood resource officers, as well as the bike unit. Funding for this purchase would come from the Capital Fund Facilities Reserve, which just last week had approximately $2 million added to it as part of the fiscal year 2023 end of year process. With that, I'd be happy to stand for any questions that the council might have.
Question. Eric, welcome back. So with this purchase, what will the balance be on the capital facilities fund?
Council member, we will be just north of approximately $5 million.
Okay, thank you.
Further questions? All right, take a motion. Yeah, we need a motion.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I move that we approve the interim budget changes as presented by staff.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Haney.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Stead.
Yes.
Willetts.
Yes.
Bajent.
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
And now we have the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, before we,
Oh, did I forget something?
nope, before we do that, I would move that we remove resolution 72823, PUD 2162, BND 2252 from today's agenda for further action by city staff and for future consideration later if it's appropriate.
Oh, will you just, do you know the numbers in the agenda?
I don't, but if you
Okay.
give me 1 second.
Because that was multiples, correct?
Yes.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's already read into the record. All right, I'll take a motion for the consent agenda with those items removed.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda with the items we just discussed removed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion? Clerk?
Haney,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Bajent,
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Now, were any of those separated to be considered today, or they're all for later dates?
They're all for later.
All right. Thank you. And now we will move into ordinances. We've got one on second reading.
Sorry, keeping track of multiple things here. We have none on first reading, second reading. Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that all ordinances on the second reading calendar be read by number and title only and filed for the third reading calendar.
Without objection.
ORD 45 an ordinance describing the exterior boundaries and annexing, incorporating the remainder of properties on the Ustick Ditch lateral into the Boise Municipal Irrigation System, directing the Boise City Clerk to record a certified copy of this ordinance in the office of the Ada County Recorder and providing an effective date.
All right, just thank you for reading that. Before we move on to third reading, we'll just take a motion to memorialize the removal of those items as stated from the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor, I move that we remove resolution 72823, PUD 2162, and BND 2252 from the consent agenda today.
Second.
Clerk?
Haney,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Bajent,
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, and now we'll go to third reading.
Madam Mayor. I move that the third reading, I move that further reading of ORD 4423 be dispensed with and the record reflect that it's been read the third time in full.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Clerk?
Haney,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Bajent,
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries. ORD 44 an ordinance enacting a new chapter 20 to Title 3 Boise City Code entitled Film Permits. Under such new chapter, providing the legal authority, purpose, and scope for film permits, setting forth that the general licensing provisions are applicable, providing definitions, setting forth when film permits are required and the exemptions therefrom, setting forth requirements for exempt/non-commercial filming activities and prohibiting filming without a permit if one is required, providing application standards, requirements, and ongoing duty, setting forth the fees, surety bond, permit term, and non-transferability of film permits, providing for the administration, application review, and conditions and requests for permit changes, requiring a code of conduct, requiring applicants follow liability provision requirements, setting forth permit denial, suspension, and revocation review procedures and reasons, and providing violations and penalties provisions, approving a summary of the ordinance, and providing an effective date.
Madam Mayor, I move that ORD 4423 be approved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Discussion? Clerk?
Haney,
Yes.
Nash,
Yes.
Stead,
Yes.
Willetts,
Yes.
Bajent,
Yes.
Halliburton.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right, and now we will move into new business. Do we have an executive session? Okay, all right. So this, I didn't realize this meeting was going to be so quick. We're already to the point where I want to say thank you both for your service. This is the last time we're meeting in this calendar year, and the last time we're meeting as a full council in this way. So I knew we all wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to say thank you. So I'm going to start with the senior member that's retiring, Council President Pro Tem Bajent. I just really appreciate the service that you've provided the last 4 years, the partnership that you've provided to me and to members of this council, and ultimately the impact you've had on our fair city in such a short amount of time. It was a crazy 4 years to for those of us that were elected and came in together at the beginning of 2020, and you showed your strength and conviction and willingness to work and protect this community so quickly because of the circumstances and your responsiveness to circumstances. So we're going to miss you. You've got great opportunities ahead. Really am deeply grateful to you and thankful for your service. And council member, you haven't been with us very long, but you came at a time when we really need you. And I deeply appreciate that you heeded the call to serve at the time that you did, and the insight and commitment to our city and processes that you brought to this dais, and to the work that it goes so far beyond this dais. I really look forward to continuing to work with you on our urban renewal board. I'm so glad that you're there and serving, and believe that you have a lot ahead, and hope that in addition to CCDC, you'll find some other ways to continue to be involved in our city, because you bring so much to the table, and I'm deeply grateful to you.
Madam Mayor, I've got a couple comments as well. I'll go in reverse order. The most awkward thing for both of you is that you kind of have to go through this a couple more times, because we'll celebrate you again later tonight. And then there will be one final meeting that we have in January, a much larger audience, and it's going to be really hard, I think, for either of you to get out of here without people saying some additional kind things about you. Councilmember Haney-Keith, I'm not sure. I'm always very interested in human behavior and what causes some people to see obstacles as opportunities, what makes people rise to the occasion for challenges, and what makes people step in instead of stepping out. And one of the things that I really admire about you is that you're one of those people who sees the obstacle and says, I can help. I can be part of this. You rise to the occasion, and you made our council stronger during a time where we needed some folks to be on council, where there was some new seats, some vacant seats, and you came in, you hit the ground running, and you were a really, really great addition to this team, and you really stepped up in a time when our city needed you to, and you didn't have to do that. And that's the question that always kind of lives in my mind is, what makes these amazing people have the courage to do that instead of just being a bystander? And so I want to thank you for jumping in, jumping up. And honestly, I'm really going to miss having you on council. I wish that I could be sitting next to you for several more years, but like the mayor said, I'm hopeful that there's other ways that we can continue to work together. I know that you're going to continue to do amazing things in the community, in addition to empowering other young people to do amazing things in the community as well. I just, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for your service. And Council President Pro Tem Bajent, again, you're going to get this a couple more times. I might be a little bit harsher tonight at happy hour. Councilmember Bajent usually has a habit of roasting people when they leave council. I don't know why, but like that's something that you do. And I was trying to figure out some things that I was going to say, and I couldn't come up with anything great that wouldn't be more appropriate when there were some drinks in hand later tonight. So I'm just going to stick to positive things right now. I think that anybody who has attended one of our meetings in the past 4 years know that you show up to the meeting prepared. They know that you show up with intention, and they know that you show up with incredible intelligence. I don't know if people truly realize how much you show up with kindness, compassion, and generosity, not only to the public, but to other council members as well. I've sat here on the dais many times when other council members, including myself, have brought forward ideas, brought forward ordinances that you maybe didn't even agree with, but you took the time to do the research and to make those ideas stronger, to offer points of view that would actually make it more legal, more applicable, and be better for our community. I think one of the great things about you is that you make people around you better. And that's an incredible skill that you've offered. Again, it's going to be really hard for me to imagine being on council without you. You and I came in at the exact same time during a really challenging time. I don't think I ever would have expected that I would have grown so close and grown to admire you as much as I do. And I think the greatest compliment that anybody could give somebody on city council is that they made a difference while they were here. And I just want you to know that you made a difference. Our city is stronger. They're better because of you, and our council and myself am stronger and better because of the time that you were here. Thank you so much. And just get ready to hear that about 2 more times, and with maybe some roasting that goes with it.
Madam Mayor, I have a couple of quick comments. It's much easier for me to be critical than it is to accept praise or compliment. And So this is awkward and uncomfortable for me, but a couple of things that I've learned in the last 4 years. First, we have an amazing group of people at the city. And the reason that we have an amazing group of people is because we have an amazing group of leaders. I have learned about leadership from our mayor. I've learned about discipline. This is one of the most disciplined people I've ever met. And you don't see that as much, I think, if you're not internally working with our mayor. I have learned about really listening to and really hearing other perspectives in the community from our mayor and from our council president. You will be all very well served by the talents of the people up here. You'll be served by Councilmember Stead, who has been training for this job longer than any of the rest of us, I think. You'll be well served by Councilmember Nash, whose willingness to take risks to accomplish things that he thinks are good is impressive. It's decisiveness and balancing of interests and judgment calls in a way that is difficult for political people to do, and you do a very good job. You'll be very well served by Councilmember Willits, whose warmth and energy and compassion and deeply held values are all things that she's able to hold in the same place at the same time. She's the first person who came to the hospital when our baby was born. It's the kind of human being that's here. She's deeply special to me, and you'll be very lucky to have her. You've got a couple of new council members coming who we met with this morning and last week, a couple weeks ago. They're energetic, enthusiastic, and ready to jump in with their feet running. So there's no doubt that although you think you're going to miss me, you're going to do just fine. You're going to do better than you would be if I wasn't here. And I'm looking forward to watching council meetings with that drink in my hand for a change, and seeing what great things all of you do.
Madam Mayor, I just want to say it's been an honor to work with all of you. I know I haven't been here for very long, but I have felt welcomed in this council. It's been a real privilege to be able to represent my district, but just to get to know each and every one of you. It's amazing when I look at Colin and to know that not that long ago, he was a student of mine and has just absolutely grown into an unbelievably intelligent powerhouse that I really admire his perspective. Lucy, you have been a huge treasure. I've really been impressed to watch you on this dais again, just be able to have such an amazing poise and engaging with all of the challenging issues that we have up here. I've learned a lot from you. Patrick, you have been a friend from the very start. You reached out as soon as I was appointed and have really given me just a welcoming hand and led me along the way. And Jimmy, bringing me to tears up here, but your leadership over the last several months, I've been incredibly impressed, and I've learned a tremendous amount from you, especially your ability to talk off the cuff and sound so amazingly poised. Keep thinking to myself, I just need to keep writing notes because I have to keep cheating, I think, but you seem to just be able to grasp some really challenging issues, and your ability to make, I think, our public feel that they can approach you and talk to you about many different issues is something that I have learned and I'm still learning from you. And Meredith, even though we haven't known each other for very long, I have been incredibly impressed about how you've been able to dive right in. I think being on P&Z has helped a tremendous amount, but you brought so much additional knowledge that in a short period of time that I really admire you and all the things that you've been able to do in the last couple of months while you've been on council. And Madam Mayor, it has been a huge pleasure to work with you in this capacity. I know we have known each other, obviously working on CCDC, but to watch your leadership in this way, I have just been in awe, quite frankly, of the many challenges that you face of this city, and you do it with such grace and rolling up your sleeves. And I am just very proud to be able to have had an opportunity to serve with you. So thank you all.
Well, I want to say to both of you, congratulations. You are now part of the alumni network of the Boise City Council, or you could start it yourself, I guess, really, because I don't know that there's a network yet. But there have been so many people that have served this city, and each and every one of them and the time that they spend here in this building at this dais, but importantly in community as city council members, becomes a part of the story, the history, and the trajectory of where we will where we are today, but then ultimately where we'll be as a city and community in the long run. And both of you are now an important part of that as well. And again, thank you all for your service. Of course, we will see you as we welcome in a new council in January. But wanted this time to acknowledge the work that both of you have done, because it's important work. You've given a lot. And as I hope that as you're able to look back on the times, whether it be the 10 months or the 4 years, as you get further and further away from it, you realize even more so the weight and impact and import that the time that you served here has had and will have. So thank you both very much. And with that, this is a short meeting. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Madam Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.